Hello and welcome to this talk with Lori Montry and Mia Sines, and we are the Greatest You Academy. And today we're going to be talking about people see you and treat you the way you see and treat yourself. I really love this, Lori, because most people, they've heard this and they're not really sure why. The whys and how it comes across and how it settles into us is really important for us to understand so that we can remove it and not be afraid of it. Instead of it being our fault, we have no way to move forward. If we realize where this conversation originally came that developed us, then it's easier to change.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like you said, this is not a message that we're creating here today, right? This is a universal truth that everyone knows, that any good teacher is out there helping their students understand, because it is so vital to owning your existence, to owning your how you create your life, right? So great. We're reminding you of that again today, right? And as many times as you can hear it and really start to embody it, the better, because these kinds of concepts that go, right up against the way we've been living and the way we've been thinking for our whole lives, we need repetition. We need to hear them. We need to understand them just a little bit. So even if this is a message that you've heard before and that you've thought about, or, oh yeah, I know that. And I got it. But if you're not being treated the way you want to be treated in the world, and if you don't think people see you the way you really want to be seen, then just open up to this message again. I think it's something that, it's like the layers that we always talk about. We can always get to that deeper level of awareness with it.
And so I was thinking also, if we had millions of people on the line right now, instead of us teaching this class, I would say to you, what does this mean to you? So I'm asking you guys, what does this mean to you? That statement, people see you and
Yes.
treat you the way that you see and treat yourself.
Yeah, I hope you guys have some paper. I hope you're taking down this question and you're going to go back to this and think about these things, right?
Yeah.
And maybe a question to ask yourself would be, if you walked into a room right now, what would people say about you? What would their impression be about you? One thing, me and I both have, done so much work in this area. And in the last few years, it's been really fun to kind of get those impressions. Like people, I'm tall, I'm 5'8", just on my own, but people will be like, I thought for sure you were like 6 feet tall. Or I'll have somebody, just because I'm big. And I don't mean large. I mean, like, I have a lot of energy because of, the work I've done myself and the appreciation and the connection that I have with myself and all of that. And I do think I'm coming to a place where, I treat myself and I see myself in a certain way. And that is really how people see me. Years ago, people probably would have thought I was 5'2" because of the way I saw myself small in the world. Right. And that's such a good example. And I love hearing that, because it just confirmed for me, yes, I am big now and I project big. And so the other question to ask yourself, maybe you're not there, maybe you don't know exactly, how would you like to be seen? Even if you don't see yourself that way today, how would you like to be seen? Because I guarantee you what comes up is your truth. It's the truth of who you are. You wouldn't have those things in your mind and on your heart if that wasn't who you really are.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's first break where the concept comes from, because some people don't even realize how subtle this is.
Yeah.
You guys, this starts at birth. Literally, you're in this warm cocoon, all lovey-dovey, and you pop out and there's lights and it's loud, and you don't speak your parents' language and they don't speak yours. And there's a lot of confusion, a lot of misunderstanding that we put upon ourselves, right? We think we're not loved enough, cared enough, fed enough, snuggled enough, whatever it is, because we can't get what we want across. So it starts way back then. It's not because Bob broke up with you or Sally, your best friend, is no longer your best friend.
Or you didn't get the promotion, or
That's right.
you're overweight, or whatever.
That's perfect.
Whatever.
Yeah. Or you're carrying pounds, or you're too thin, or whatever the story is, you're operating from that place that we've talked about before of an impossibility. You're putting this impossible story on yourself that needs to be removed. So look at where this comes from in your life. Put down, I would like you guys to think about exactly how you grew up. Who was in your life? Who was an influence? It comes from our teachers, our parents, our aunts, our uncles, our best friends' parents, our neighbors, our Girl Scout leaders, Boy Scout leaders, whatever. It comes from our society. It comes from the news. It comes from our teachers, the principals, churches. So all of this information is coming in, and we are sponges, and we are just absorbing, doing what we're naturally supposed to do, just absorb and to learn. And so we start to feel and believe that we're not good enough. And that's why we end up not treating ourselves the way we should. We begin to, well, if somebody else loved me more, and you focus on them, then things are okay for a while, right? So you get confused. Yeah, it's like falling down Alice's rabbit hole in the Wonderland. You don't know where you're going. You're just like, wow. And that's what life can be like until you stop and you say you want something different, and you begin to do that. So I loved how Lori and I were saying, pull out your journal, write these questions down, and dig into them. This is where you need to move into and then through. Because when Lori said to you, how do you treat yourself? How do you treat yourself? So it's not just about the negative stuff. What do you want? It's not also just how you treat yourself, but how do you want to treat yourself? So you've got where you were, where you presently are, and where you want to go. You have 3 places there. We would like you to spend some time looking through these, writing them down so that you can start to see you're no longer in the space that you once were, and you're heading to the place you want to go. And in the meantime, you're straightening up the present where you are.
Absolutely. Yeah. With respect to, so we're giving you kind of a high level overview, because we want you to kind of start this work, and we want you to look at it for yourself, but then we want to support you along the way. So as you're answering these questions and trying to get a feel for what this means and how it's playing out in your life, please be interactive in the Greatest You Facebook group, or if you want to be personal and you want to send us an email, that's okay too. But we really want to start to understand is, what does that statement mean to you when we say that people see you and treat you the way you see and treat yourself? Just take a few minutes to reflect on that question. The next thing is, how do you see and treat yourself? As a question, spend some time asking about that. Do you pay attention to your needs? Or is it difficult for you to even know what your needs are? If someone says, hey, I'd like to meet for lunch, and you say, okay, name the time, name the place, and you're constantly giving over, everything to yourself. Say they pick a pasta place, and you're gluten-free, and you're like, okay, sure, sounds great. You're treating yourself poorly. That's a silly example, right? Because there are so many like examples that are much more profound, but those kinds of ways that we just don't take care of ourselves. If this was a friend or a child or our partners or whatever, we would go to such great lengths to make sure that their needs were met. Mm-hmm. to when they're having a bad day, that we would really try to be there and support them and love them. And sometimes when we're having a bad day, we're literally like sharing the story. Oh, this and this happened, but it's okay. I need to just get over it, whatever. Right. And we model that our needs are not important, that we're not somebody who could use that soft shoulder, that ear, that love and support. We model that, and so people think, oh, well, she's so strong, that's not something that she needs, and it doesn't occur to them to offer that, even though we really want it. And these things are happening in a very subconscious kind of a way. It's not blatant, right? You're not saying that, and they're not really thinking it. It's just happening in the flow of interaction over time. And so it's really worthwhile to take some time here today. I would say, if you could set aside 30 minutes, 40 minutes to really dive into these questions, you're going to have some really good information from which you can then start to understand a little bit how this is playing out in your life and how you would like it to play out. And yeah.
Lori, there's a common thing that I want to bring up, because a lot of people don't even realize it until they start working with a coach one-on-one, and then they're just like, holy cow, the whole world hates me. So I want you guys to understand that, and this has come up a lot with women at the gym or even grocery shopping or anywhere. They think people are looking at them. And they think people are telling them how ugly they are by the other person's body language. Remember, everything is energy.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've talked to women and they're saying, they're staring at me at the gym and laughing. I can't go. And so as we work through that and we open this up, that their experience has nothing to do with you at all. And you start to work through all the processes. Another good little thing that we'll just throw in here is the book, The 4 Agreements. Don't assume anything. There's more to it than just not assuming. But what happens, and this is the part that I want to share, that's like the brilliant part. Within a short time, I'll get these calls just like you, Lori, where it's like, oh my God, and a man opened the door for me and smiled at me. And I was
yes,
like,
exactly.
What did you do?
Yeah.
Like I said, thank you, and their world opens up. And a lot of women then begin to date and other things, but it's changing the way that we see ourselves.
Yes.
Changes everything.
And it really does. And to have that where you come from a place of, I am beauty, I am worthy, I am enough, I am all of those things. And suddenly when people are looking at you, you're still aware that, they look at you, but instead they have a smile, or they offer you, you're in the produce section, you're reaching for something and they're like, oh, let me get that for you, or whatever. And you're like, what is going on here? I was in here yesterday and everyone hated me. And was trying to steal the last thing from me, or and today they're handing it to me. Nothing changed except your internal world and the way and the energy that you put out. And people they felt your worth, they felt your love, that you had for yourself, and they're like, oh, I want some of that. And that drew them to you. And so there's so much. And how can we explain something like that? How can we put something like that into words, right? And so today is really about just offering you this, again, the reminder that this is true. This is absolutely, we could scientifically look at this and study this, and there's not a single person who would be like, yeah, no, that doesn't work. It is the truth. And so when you can start to look at these questions for yourself and ask yourself, how do you see yourself? How would you like to be seen? How do you treat yourself? How would you like to be treated? And then we can find the incongruencies. And once we find the incongruencies, then we can work on them. We can understand, where did that come from? Why am I seeing myself that way? And as Mia was alluding to earlier, a lot of it comes from all the different micro traumas or big traumas that we have endured in our life. It created a story about who we are and how we deserve to be treated. So this is like the first step, where you can start to understand, what are the patterns, what are my beliefs around myself, and then we can get underneath that, right, to the next layer. Okay, where did that come from, and how can I heal that wound so that I can step into, the way I want to be seen and treated. And so this is really kind of preliminary discussion today, and we are going to support you in it because it's so important and so transformational. So if you are one of the souls that are going to be watching this over the next few days, and you want to understand this better, do your homework and let us know. Because this is such a key, and it's also something that is woven into our new class, and which is starting next Thursday on the 10th. This 4-week foundational and kind of intensive course is all about these kinds of topics as it relates to you being ready for a divine love connection. So many people right now are telling us, I just feel ready for a partner. I want to share my life with someone. And here's all the reasons why I'm nervous, or all the things that I don't know how to go about it. Or, I just kind of recognize that I'm not in a place with myself that I know is going to be the place that I want to stand with somebody else. And so that's why we created this 4-week course. And it is, issues like this, right? So that we can help you and support you. So anybody who's doing their homework with respect to this topic, let us support you. Let us, to talk to you a little bit more about how this course, it could be something that totally provides that shift so that you can be seen and treated by a new partner in a way that is really powerful. And of course, this goes for those of you who are already coupled, right? It's not too late, even if you aren't seen and
shift
treated.
that. Yeah.
Absolutely, 1,000%. So
meaning your current relationship,
right,
guys.
right, exactly. Yes, there can be, sometimes those are the best situations in order to be able to provide change, and it can be very powerful. So once again, if you are someone who is ready for some shifting in this area, to be seen and treated like you want to be, like you deserve to be, then do a little bit of homework here and reach out and let us know so that we can take what you've done and give you the next level of how you can progress in this area.
And I just want to share, guys, that as you grow in this, it's not a hit and miss or one-time thing.
Yeah.
We love this work, so it becomes who we are. And this is why we teach it. We're not saying that you have to do this to teach it, but you're welcome to. But it's about growing yourself to the point where life actually works for you, and you will love the work, and you will learn how to get through things that are rough and tough. At first, you'll learn the methods on how to make it smoother and more harmonious in your body. Our body feels everything, right? Our body holds the score. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so it's about learning how to do your body, mind, and spirit all at once together, so that you can be at your most elevated and joyful space.
Absolutely. Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes. So you've got some questions to think about. And this is, I know that there's a lot of people, and I used to be one that would, listen to a lot of stuff, and I would listen and I would say, okay, that kind of makes sense. Yeah, I'm gonna try to incorporate that. And even with the best intentions, nothing ever happened for me. It's sitting down and really allowing the wisdom that comes from that quiet space with yourself and your pen. That's where changes happen. So I really encourage you to do that, and to take advantage of, this opportunity for us to kind of guide you through this question a little bit, and see where you can take it.
And then know that you're not alone. We're here to support you as you go along, whether you're in our Facebook group, The Greatest You Revolution, whether you're in the Academy, we're here to support you. So don't just think that, oh, well, I'm going to do this work and leave. No, be a part of our community. Get the support you need. This is where things change and happen.
Yeah, and I'll also say that this is where we base our topics on how the conversations that we're having with people. So if you're one of those people who are wanting to get, support and help, one of the ways that we do that is by listening and taking your questions and the things that you're working on and creating the teachings for them. So there is help and support for you, and I'm really excited to see what you guys do with this concept, with this opportunity to open up to a whole new side of you, and potentially, you know, a new existence. Like Mia was saying, everything opens up, and you see the love in the world for you.
All right, wonderful.
Yeah. Don't forget about our course that's starting next Thursday. This course is very specially designed. It's very specially priced. It is education, integration, and personal live coaching, which is the kind of the trifecta of how people change and make progress, right? It's people who change people. So we're really excited about it, and please just take a look at it, you know, and see, what does my heart say about this? I think it's really incredible, and we are excited to be offering it. So don't delay. If you have any questions about it, reach out. But it's gonna be so much fun. We're putting together a really incredible group of men and women to just, you know, learn how to create the divine love connection that that is being sought by so many people right now.
And so I'll give you the link verbally. It's also in your email. It's all over. It's associated with this, but let me just give it to you. It's www.womenmakingmiracles with an S.com // divine-love.
Divine-love. Women
Easy.
Making Miracles. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you won't have any trouble finding the link. We've been trying to put it everywhere, so it's easy to find. But yeah, thank
Check
you
it out. Yeah,
for-
we're really excited about it. Really excited.
Totally, absolutely. So thank you being here live and for watching the replay. We can't wait to hear your responses to these questions, and also answer any questions, get you signed up for the 4-week course that's coming up right now, just
Very
in time
exciting.
for, yeah, before the holidays, before things get too busy, but also to be able to be enjoying some of this stuff, to start, you know, opening yourself to that beautiful
Yeah.
love connection as the holidays are coming.
And also, as you grow yourself
Yeah.
and open yourself up for this beautiful love connection, what it does is it increases your female relationships too, because you're learning how to love greater and deeper. And you
Yeah.
also learn how to love yourself more through it.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
So, you know, spending time in this is for relationship in general, right? Of course. And so as we go in and we're going to be with, you know, our families, we're going to be with people, then it's also going to translate into those relationships, and just make it, you'll see and feel the difference between this holiday and what you've experienced in the past, with these new tools, this new connection with yourself, and this new perspective on love and you and life.
That's right. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in
Thank
another
you.
talk.
Much love to you all.